Hello, and welcome to today's presentation where I will be teaching you how to repot a plant. My name is Jane Trevino, and I'm an avid plant enthusiast. I have over 50 plants. It's kind of insane, so let me walk you through it. So you're going to need a couple of materials. First thing you're going to need is a plant to repot. In this case, I have my Monstera deliciosa, and I need to repot it and put it all into one pot. The next thing you need is soil potting mix. In this case, I have the Miracle-Gro potting mix. This is a very common potting mix. It's available at Lowe's, Home Depot, even Walmart. Very common. The next thing you're going to need is some perlite, which is a porous little rock that helps aerate the soil. And this is a little bit trickier to find. However, you can find it at Lowe's, or you can simply order it online. The next thing you are going to need is a pot. In this case, I have a big terracotta pot, which you can see on the picture on the left, and you can also see my cute little cat, Deku. And lastly, you're going to need a watering can. So let's get started. First thing you need to do is decide what plant you want to repot. Like I said, I have my Monstera deliciosa, and on the left you can see the old pot it used to be in. And on the right, you can see the new pot that I'm going to be putting it in. You want to choose a pot that's appropriate for the new plant. In this case, I have a pot that's somewhat bigger, but not too big, where it's going to be drowning in water. And I also have a terracotta pot, which helps wick away that moisture, so it helps it dry out in between waterings, which is what this plant really likes. And next step is to loosen up the soil around the roots. In the first figure, you can actually see the root system. It's pretty established. You can even see a new little leaf coming in. Second picture, same thing. You can see the established roots are doing really well. So you just want to make sure you get off all of the old soil. However, if you look at the picture on the right, these cuttings were placed in water, so they don't really have any soil, so you can just skip this if they were in water previously. And the next step is a really important one, is you're going to want to create a soil mixture that's appropriate for the plant. In this case, I like to do a 4-to-1 ratio of the Miracle-Gro potting mix to the Miracle-Gro perlite. And you want this soil to be nice, light, fluffy, and the goal is to have the plant get water and stay moist but not wet, and that's what the perlite is going to help. It's going to help aerate it so we can avoid root rot, which is really bad. The next step is you want to fill up your pot about halfway with the soil mixture. And then once that's done, you're going to place each plant in the desired position. So each plant should be kind of relatively close to each other, but not too close. You also don't want them to be too close to the edge, as they can dry out. Each one should have their own little spot that they can grow into. Social distancing, if you will. The next thing you're going to do is cover all of the roots so that none of the roots are visible, and you also want to add about 1 to 2 inches of soil so that when you water it, the soil will compress, so you want to make sure that you cover the plant really well. And lastly, go ahead and water your plant to go ahead and set it in its new home and enjoy it. So to conclude, sometimes plants need new homes in order to keep growing. The plant that I decided to repot today was my Monstera deliciosa, which used to be all one plant. However, it wasn't doing great, so I decided to cut it up. I put half of the stems in water and half of the stems just in the old pot. And after several months of establishing the new root system, I went ahead and placed them all in one big pot so that they can all live together. So hopefully by giving this plant a new pot, this helps it establish more roots, get nice and big and strong, and I hope it keeps growing. Thank you for coming to my presentation, and good luck with repotting your plants.